Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. It is Tuesday. You know what that means. It's another trade show Tuesday. We're locked and loaded with 23 trades ready to discuss with you guys. Super chats as always. Last week we broke the record with 40 super chats. We gave away. He ended up. Doof picked a Joe Burrow jersey, so that is on the way to his house right now. Super excited in the orange too. The orange is fire. So, guys, tonight's show, we just want to jump right in. I mean, last week we ended up going super long because we got so many super chats. So we're going to get it jumping right off the bat. Nobody better to chop it up with than Snoog. And we're going to turn it over to my main man, the host of the show, Mr. Broc himself.
Let's do it. Let's jump right into things. So kicking off trade one from Joseph Percher over on Twitter. We got one side with Malik Neighbors and Brian Robinson. Other side with McCaffrey, James Conner, DJ Moore, and a 26 first. Haven't heard from Snoog yet today. Let's go ahead and pass this one your way. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, that's a cowbell for Neighbors. It seems like you're getting a lot of pieces. Sounds like you're getting a lot of pieces back, but like none of them other than DJ Moore to me. A 26 first is good, but are like enticing enough that I feel like you could be wrecking your team by making a trade like this.
Snoog, even if that's the 26-101 for Jeremiah Love, you lose, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like that has to be the 26-101 to be close, and you have to win the championship. I mean, Malik Neighbors is that elite foundational asset, guys, that I am not trading him unless the farthest I would go down is Rashee Rice or Tedaroy McMillan, and they're my wide receiver 14 and 15. If I got to drip down all the way to DJ Moore, who's wide receiver 24, 25, Christian McCaffrey, James Conner. I mean, this is one of those moves where this guy just came out of, the cave. He's coming back into the dynasty light. And he's like, oh, well, look at this. I can get a couple of old heads and win a championship. If you don't, this one hurts. It's Neighbors all day long. Broc, we got 3 super chats to get this thing kicked off. So let's keep going with these.
Let's do it. Appreciate the super chat, Main Mac. We got a start 10, 12-team PPR Superflex 6-point passing. He wants to spend a 26 first and a third for a quarterback, running back, and or a receiver. At quarterback, he's got Dak and T-Law. Running back, Bijan, Kamara, Montgomery. Receiver, he's got Amon-Ra, Nico, DJ Moore, Sutton, and Kittle and Goddard at tight end. Any ideas with this team, Dad, looking at quarterbacks, the running backs, the receiver depth, and then Kittle, Goddard at tight end? How would you spend that first and third to go get those positions?
Okay, first off, I'm rolling with Kittle as my tight end. You know, Snoog and I are all about George Kittle being the tight end, so that's set it and forget it. And Goddard's really underrated. Like he's a fine backup, so that position's fine. I look at the wide receivers next. You got Amon-Ra, Nico, DJ Moore, Sutton. That's pretty darn good right there. Bijan and Kamara and Montgomery. I mean, this team has a lot of potential, Snoog. I don't know. This is something that I really struggle with. And the more I get into it, the more I play Dynasty, the more I'm like, I'm holding on to that 26 first because that's that last piece. You're starting 10. So that's Dak, Lawrence, Bijan, Kamara, Montgomery. So that gets you up to 5. Amon-Ra, Nico, Moore, Sutton, Kittle. I don't see a reason to trade that 26 first right now because what happens if Dak goes down to injury? Now you have a 26 first you got to use to get a quarterback, where if you use that 26 first to upgrade another position or to add another player, then you kind of cap yourself in those situations, Snoog. I mean, I could rattle off 15 different guys and Main Mac. I know you're in the Discord, so if we want to talk further, I definitely can. But Snoog, the more I do this, the more I'm like, that's where I came up with insulated trades like 3 or 4 years ago, because I made a trade and I was in the same spot as Maine, and I'm like, dude, if I just add this piece, right? And I wanted to get that sexy piece, so I would take, David Montgomery, add a first and get up to Derrick Henry or get up to Christian McCaffrey, and then McCaffrey would go down to injury. Now I'm like, this sucks. Now I got to trade Bijan because I got to tear it down, right? And that's something in Dynasty. The more you play, the more you start to realize that is something that extra 26 first in your pocket means so much.
Yeah, I was thinking about like probably moving off Bijan would be the play in this scenario for this team, if anything. But I agree with Dad. Keep that 26 first. You don't technically, you can win your league in the offseason, but you don't actually win your league in the offseason. So just holding on to that 26 first. This looks like a playoff team as is. I mean, week 10, week 12, if you have a trade deadline, or if you don't have a trade deadline, use that 26 first to get yourself an already stud player that's balling up next year. Because if you could package up, that 26 first in Montgomery or Sutton and go up and get a better player, I think it can help put your team over the top.
And Brock, I've been preaching a lot about reduced volatility trades. If I'm trading in this one, I'm trading. The wide receivers are getting a little bit older. You have an elite running back where I would take Bijan Robinson and package him either with Moore or Sutton. I would target an elite wide receiver like a Neighbors, like a BTJ, like a Puka, and then get that running back back. So give me, Bijan and Sutton, and I get Puka and we already has Kamara, but somebody like that Puka. I always say Kamara. Like that's the thing with Snoog and I. We're always trying to get it that way. But like Derrick Henry and Puka, now all of a sudden you have an RB1 and you have an elite wide receiver who's going to last longer. So that's a great one. These are my favorite ones. Crazy Connor. Love of the game right
baby.
there.
All right. And then we also got one coming in from Chai Star. Appreciate the super chat, Chai. 12-team super flex PPR. He's a contender. His receivers are Nico, Ladd, Smitty, Jaden Reed, Mooney, Keon Hollywood. Diami Brown, Puka is on the trade block. So should he try and target him, Ladd plus to move up to Puka? He's concerned about his injury history, but Snoog, what do we think here? Would you package Ladd, maybe a pick, maybe another piece to go up and get Puka?
Yeah, I would. And I think that Puka is significantly better than Ladd McConkey. I think that's a big upgrade for you. So if you can, get away with doing something cheap, don't give up a first. Like if that's the case, then I'd rather just hold Ladd. But if, I could give up a second and a small piece or a player equivalent to like a mid-second, then I'd be willing to do something like that.
I mean, Puka Nacua, I don't think people put enough respect on his name. Last year, he had that breakout rookie season. Last year, second best yards per route run in NFL history. Like the dude is getting open. He's getting the fantasy points when he's on the field. Like the injury history, he missed a couple games last year. Like he was Iron Man in year one. I'm trading up there. I would give my late 26 first or 27 first or even something a little bit more to go up to Puka Nacua because I think Ladd is going to be fantastic. I think he's going to be there, but he's not going to put up the same numbers as Puka Nacua. So again, if you have the flexibility, you have the depth, go ahead there and make that move. So let's hit up trade number 2.
All right, trade 2 here coming from TMattLow05 on YouTube. We got one side with Saquon and Rashee Rice, other side with Chuba, the 102 and the 202. Dad, what do we think here on this one?
So first of all, a ton of questions off of YouTube this week, which I love to see. We passed 4,000 subs. We're on our quest for 5K. And honestly, this past week with the edit that Brock just put out with our running back tiers, and Snoog and I did a show on our running back or on our Dynasty sells, we've added 400 followers in 2 days. So, I mean, you guys have come out in big fashion. We're excited about where things are heading with that. So love that we get the questions on YouTube, Twitter, Discord, snail mail, Pony Express, whatever you guys send them by. This one's interesting for me because I look at it and I say, Saquon's worth the 102 to me. I think I would rather the 102 straight up over Saquon, but I'm not selling Rashee Rice for Chuba in the 202. Like, I think this is just a lost trade on that right-hand side. If that Chuba was, a Xavier Worthy or a wide receiver with some upside, but I don't really see the purpose of the right-hand side of the trade. I see Saquon and Rashee Rice are going to win me championships. The 102, 202, if you're going to play around with it and you're going to make something happen, even if you're a hunter or you're a Tet guy, I just don't quite see it as a win on that right side.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I like the 102 over Saquon, but it's the Rice into Chuba thing that's kind of bothering me. Or you could look at it like 102 over Rice and then Chuba 202 for Saquon. I just can't get there. I think that 202 would have to be a 26 or 27 first, and I'd smash it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like 108 minimum in this class, 26 first, 27 first, trying to roll into that way. So we are 3 super chats in, we are 3 questions in, and we are several hundred people in following. So this is what's fun about Tuesday nights, Brock, is like every single week where honestly, you just see the numbers on the left-hand side just flying. So many guys tuning in live, dedicating their time, as opposed to, we can all watch things on Netflix, but when you used to back in the day watch a TV show live, it's so much more fun.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll go ahead and kick over to trade 3 here from Just Incredible over on the Discord. We got one side with Gibbs, and then on the right side we got, again, Rashee Rice. But this time, getting a nice rookie running back on top and Travion Henderson. Snoog. We keeping Gibbs, or are we going to get, one of your favorite rookie running backs this year, and you get Rashee on top? What do we like?
Yeah, this one's close. I could see a world where this ends up being the Rashee Rice side, but I want Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, he is a true league winner, can carry your team single-handedly, and he finished RB1 overall last year and still has that in his bag for this year.
Yeah, I'm also taking Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm with Snoog. Like, this is a trade where if I am all in, it's Gibbs. If I'm in the middle of the pack but leaning towards playoffs, it's Gibbs. If I'm rebuilding, I say to this guy, hey, Rice, Henderson in a first, and I'll give you Gibbs in a second. And I think you can get that done. And especially if you say 27, because you'll start to get a little bit better. He'll start to get a little bit worse. But Jahmyr Gibbs, and you're going to see in this particular trade show, Jahmyr Gibbs has been traded quite a few times. And that's shocking to me because you're going to have to pry him out of my cold, dead hands.
Yeah.
Like, Jahmyr Gibbs the fantasy points per touch at 0.93 is insane. Like, I am not trading Jahmyr Gibbs unless you really open up. And this is two nice players. I mean, I like Rice. I like Henderson. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I was going to say, it feels like there's a world that Rice or Henderson, like, it feels like the all upside team on the right side, but like it's a little risky to give up again.
I want a little bit more.
Like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to trade number 4 coming from Luca Barberini over on Twitter. We got the left side with Drake May, Quinshon Judkins, and then a second in 27 and in 28. On the other side, we got Amon-Ra, Baker, and a 28 first. Dad, what do we think here with this one? Snoog's motioning for it. Do you agree?
I got it, but I want to see Snoog. Are you? That's your boys over there, though. You going against your boys?
I'm going against my boys. I want Amon-Ra side.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra is just so good and so disrespected in a trade like this. And Baker Mayfield is back. I mean, he finished top 7 2 years in a row. Like, put some respect back on Baker Mayfield's name, Amon-Ra's as well. I mean, yes, I understand Ben Johnson isn't there. Amon-Ra is still going to eat as a top 5 wide receiver. And I understand that Liam Cohen is not there. But Baker Mayfield, it was something insane before last year. It was like, every single year he had a new offensive coordinator. He's going to make it happen. It's going to be the same system. He's got Ibuka. I don't love the 28-1-2 swap. Like, I 28 picks, I'm not trading those already, Snoog. Like, I get worried when I trade that far out. But what closes the gap here? I mean, take the 28-1-2 swap out, and I still think it's not enough. As much as Drake May is an absolute stud, I mean, I'm still preferring Amon-Ra over May. I consider Baker over Judkins. The 27 second doesn't close it for me. And so the 1-2 swap feels like it's just an overpay.
I would need to be May, Judkins, and a 27 first for Amon-Ra, Baker at a second, I think. Like, I think the 1-2 swap would need to be flip-flopped. I think Amon-Ra is the best player in this trade. Like, you're getting the best asset in this trade. You're also getting a QB and Baker Mayfield back, who could very well outscore Drake May next year, and you're getting a first with that 27 second and 28 second upgrade. So it just feels like a win-win across the board. And I love Drake May, and I love Quinshon Judkins. I don't love, trading guys I like, but I always will if the value is right.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. Quick little plug here since we got some time. I wanted to get this out there because, honestly, the Patreon has blown up this past month. It's patreon.com/smashaccept. We're running a promotion right now, and this is what you got to do. Darth Twerk, he's in there right now. He says, smash that like button like Dad smashes trades. I love those kind of things. But right now, you guys can use code DAD30, and this is our biggest sale we've ever done. We've done 25% off. But for Father's Day, we're going to extend it a couple days here. Code DAD30 gets you 30% off your yearly sub. And if you guys want to sign up, the crazy thing is for our biggest package that we have, you can sign up. It's normally $212. It takes it all the way down to $158. That's crazy. Like, you're getting crazy discount to get up on that. We'll also do code DAD50. If you guys just want to dip your toes in, you guys want to just try it out, 50% off for the first month. So the lowest base tier that we have for Smash Basic, it's $5 a month. It's going to cost you $250. And D comes in here. He says, let's go, boys. All access is the way to go. And honestly, it's been growing like crazy because the way we do things in all access is some of you guys are like, Dad, I got a draft coming up this weekend. Can I get your number? I give them my cell phone number. I help them with their draft. Guys are like, hey, we want to make a couple of trades here. What would you do? We will do it basically the way Snoog and I do our drafts. We'll do it the same way we handle our teams. And we'll do this next super chat because Blue K Prods is back, baby.
Let's do it. Appreciate the super chat, Blue K. We got JJ McCarthy and a 26 first on one side. Other side with Caleb. Are those players a first off for you, Dad, or is a little bit more?
Snook's going to cowbell, but I'm not.
I'm cowbelling.
I'm not.
Caleb Williams side.
I really think JJ McCarthy's going to kill it this year. Like, the more I get into this, so I feel like here's the deal. If this is a late first, it's Caleb, not even close, right? If this is a mid first, it's a slight lean to Caleb. If it's early, if it's one of those top three, I think JJ McCarthy wins here. If this is a 27 first and we're talking about it's mid to early, it's JJ McCarthy easily. So Blue K Prods, at this point, I'm with Snoog. Caleb is the clear choice here. However, the insulation for me is, if you can get this to a 27 first and it's mid, I'm going to smash that. Snoog, the way we keep looking at this class, and it's like those first four picks with Jeremiah Smith, and we got Arch Manning and DJ Lagway and Ryan Williams and Cam Coleman. I mean, those first five, that's nuts. Those guys are going to be straight up top 12 players at their position, or top 15 at minimum. So that's where I'm really at on this. I do believe in JJ McCarthy a lot more than you do. I think if you told me JJ McCarthy outscores Caleb Williams in 2025, I would not be crazy. I don't think that would be crazy. I do think Caleb does, but I think it's close.
Yeah, it's Caleb for me here. I just think there's a huge talent gap, and I think the situation, JJ's situation's great, but Caleb's is better. So I just think it's a win-win all around for the Caleb Williams in terms of just the talent, the ceiling as a fantasy football asset, and with the situation. But JJ he's a nice piece, especially on like a rebuild. Like, if this could be, like, if I was getting my own 26 first back in this trade or like something like that, and I know it's going to be early, like it's not a bad trade to get done. I don't know. Like, you watch like the camp clips of McCarthy. Tell me something like Brock. He looks so goofy out there. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he looks like he uses way too much effort and strength into his throw. Like, something just looks off with McCarthy. He always has looked like that for me. And I've always liked him, but I don't know. I just don't see him being an elite talent.
Is the Bears situation really better than the Vikings? I mean, Justin Jefferson,
I think so.
A massive notch above. If you take the quarterback, the coach out of it, Ben Johnson's there, but JJ McCarthy's been in the same system. Jefferson's better than anything that the Bears have as wide receiver. Wide receiver 2, Addison's on par with, the Bears wide receiver 2. Tight end, Hawkinson's, right there. I mean, honestly, both of them are great situations. I love both players. It's just a lot of context into that one is as far as mid 27 first, I'm smashing. This has to be an early 26 first right now, unless it's your own. So that's a fun one. 4th super chat already. Guys, this week we are not doing the jersey giveaway. We do potentially have a Smash Accept 20 giveaway. We have multiple different memberships that we're going to, try to throw your way. We always spin the dial, but we're not going to kind of overhype that the whole time. We're just a little bit something special here towards the end. So let's hit it up with trade number 4. No, that was 4. I just wanted you to say his name again. Luca Barberini, huh? Hey. I love it. Right.
Trade 5 here coming from Andrew Bechtold over on YouTube. We got one side with Lamb, other side with Puka, and a 27 first. Snoog, your eyes are lighting up, and now you're doing the cowbell motion. You agree, Dad?
I'm cowbell and Puka Nakua side all day.
And he messaged this, and I said, it's a Smash Accept. And we were like, well, let's look at it a little bit further. This is the type of trade. Now, I do think I would even trade Lamb in a second for Puka in a first, because the way I look at this particular trade is you win if it's late. And this is where projecting that 27 first is so important. I've been telling everybody, I've been putting it out there. If you're trading your late first, treat it as if it's mid, like in 27 first, right? And if you're trading your mid first, treat it as if it's early. And if you're trading your early first, just don't do it. The 27 class is going to be crazy good. I am loving this trade here. Snoog, am I crazy to think Puka in a first for Lamb in a second in 2027 is still the way to go?
I love it. I like the Puka side. Good chance he's Lamb's the better player. Like, no doubt about it. He's the better player 100%. In my opinion. But I think from a fantasy perspective, it could be real close. Like, Puka Nacua could either outscore him or score right there with him. The gap between the 27 first and 27 second is drastic. So I think that's just a massive win. And in this case, you keep your second and you just get Puka in the first. So
what if it was Justin Jefferson?
I need like a Alvin Kamara, James Conner, Joe Mixon, 27 second plus on the Puka side. But
I like it. Chesty LaRue.
All right. Next one coming in from Chesty LaRue over on the Discord. We got one side with a mid 26 first, other side with a late 27 first. Now let's just say they know for sure that both of these picks are mid and late. Dad, what's the preference here?
So this is a debate that he started, and this is something I love that we do in the Discord, is he created a poll. A lot of you guys put Twitter polls up, and you get all these trolls coming in there voting. This one was awesome. This is actually this is very close, 55 versus 45%. Snoog, I'm sorry, it's the mid 26 first. You know, like the 27 late, the 27 class is phenomenal. We've been preaching it. There's nothing there. There's nothing there to say that it's not going to be. However, when you're talking a mid first next year versus a late 2 years from now, you'll be able to recoup that. I mean, I think a mid first, you're talking about, you have Jeremiah Love, you have Lenoris Sellers. You know, if Arch comes out, the class is crazy. You got Nick Singleton, you got, Nussmeier, you got Aller, there's a lot of good players, especially in the quarterback and running back position. If you want a wide receiver, you should have invested this year and last year because you're not getting squat. He's Jordan Tyson, and Carnell Tate, and that's it. And it is not, and they're not elite. Like, they're not elite level prospects. So yeah, I am taking the mid 26 first. If you compare mid 26 versus mid 27, it's mid 27, which is a little bit backwards. But Snoog, I mean, talk to me a little bit about this, because I don't think this should be a 55-45. This should be like 90-10. Like, you're talking about what you have right in front of you versus 2 years from now that is potentially worse.
In most draft classes, a mid first always beats out a late first. You get into like 2020 and 2021 where it was like, Waddle, Smitty, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, and those guys in that late first range where like they were in Mac Jones, like those guys had value right at the time. Like, they had a lot of value right away. Or 2020 when it was like Jefferson, T. Higgins, Judy, all these type of guys, all the running backs like Swift, Akers, all those guys, compared to like a 2022 class where it's like, I don't know, James Cook, 107, Jameson Williams, 107, like those type of guys. I'm just saying like mid to late comparison. But like even like 2023 and 2024, who was 112 in 2024? Jonathan Brooks, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Like, Bo Nix and Penix, like, weren't even that. Like, they were kind of like in the early mid-second range. Like, people just completely wiped them off their boards. And in 2023, it was like Kincaid and Kendre Miller. So late first are always so much riskier than mid first. So honestly, in any class, I'm taking the mid first over the late, unless like it's an absolutely stacked class, which the 27 could. But as of right now, I want to get ahead and get that mid first.
Love it.
All right, and we got our fifth super chat of the evening coming in from Matt Glore. Appreciate it, Matt. We got a 10-team start 8, so really shallow, 1 quarterback, half-point tight end premium. Should he trade Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson for Brock Bowers? He's got Hurts at quarterback and a 1 QB. That's perfect. McCaffrey, Bucky, Chuba, Connor at running back, London, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Adams, and Kupp at receiver, Laporta at tight end. So it looks like he's going for the tight end upgrade. His running back room would still be pretty good without Breece Hall, but should he keep him and Garrett Wilson or swap them for Bowers? Dad, what do we think?
This is tough. This is tough because you got Laporta there, so you still have a top 5 tight end. The start 8 is what really starts to come out there. I mean, you look at it, you're going to start Hurts, McCaffrey, Bucky. That's your 3 right there. You got St. Brown, AJ Brown, London. You have the depth there to make this kind of move. I think I would want a little bit back, but this is an opportunity. You're not going to be able to buy Bowers. You shouldn't be able to buy him anywhere. So as much as I love Hall and Wilson, man, there's rumor of Breece Hall potentially getting traded if they are not a contender. I think Garrett Wilson's going to come out and his value is going to rise here. So you're definitely playing top dollar for Brock Bowers here. But I think if you can get a second back, I would do it because Brock Bowers is just going to be you're playing bully ball then. If you're starting Laporta and Bowers in a tight end premium league, I would make this trade and then sell Laporta for a 27 first plus another player that you need, and try to go that way. But I don't think this is a necessary trade, Matt, but I do like Brock Bowers here.
Yeah, I'd actually prefer the Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall side. I think you're getting 2 stud assets that have, elite upside at their positions, and they're both pretty much playing for contract years. So I think Breece Hall could finish as a top 5 running back with ease, and I think Garrett Wilson as a top 10 wide receiver is pretty set in stone. And I think that we already have Laporta. So I think that honestly, the right play is trading Laporta for George Kittle in any first. Laporta in a second for Kittle in any first that you can get.
His wide receivers he's got 3 elite
Loaded
wide receivers in London, Brown. I mean, and then he got Adams in there. It's like you have an embarrassment of riches. And I think the goal is that he wants to really turn one of them into an elite type asset. I would try to do this and try to get yourself Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, really try to go a little bit above Bowers there. I have no problem getting it, but I think, Snoog's kind of onto something value-wise is trade Hall for a 27 first plus another thing. Trade Garrett Wilson. Get yourself set up down the pipeline because this roster already is a league winner. You know what I mean? So sometimes we over tinker and we just try to make some trades just to make it look sexier. And sometimes it's better just to insulate down the road that when this comes down to it, you have extra picks and extra players to work with. So that's a fun one. We're up to 5 super chats. We will give away 1 free month of basic. Let's see if we can hit that next milestone. T Miller, keeping it going.
All right. Trade 7 here coming from T Miller 242 over on the Discord. We got one side with RJ Harvey, Tyreek Hill, and a 27 second. Other side was Saquon Barkley. Snoog, I'll kick this one over your way. What do we think?
Yeah, this one's close. I want the Saquon side, though. He has, true league winning upside, and I think Harvey and Hill are nice pieces, but I think I can do more and get more with Saquon, and I'll get more out of having him in my lineup.
See, this is the weird thing with me, Snoog, is if this was Harvey in a 27 first, I would take it, right? But it's not it. But also, I mean, Hill in a 27 second is worth a 27 first. So this is one of those interesting type trades. I think if Saquon's the last piece to the puzzle, I have no problem making it. But if you look at what Tyreek Hill did in 23 versus 24, what he does with Tua and what he does without, I mean, he puts up elite level numbers. I think he could be a league winner at this price. And if Harvey pans out, you end up winning this side pretty handedly. So I lean on the 27 second side, but I don't think you have to make it. Just like the other one is Brock. I mean, we're kind of split on this one a little bit. How do you see this particular trade?
Yeah, I agree that the value is definitely probably on the left side. If you can flip Hill in a 27-2 for the 27 first, like you said, it's a weird trade. If they're getting a 30-plus-year-old receiver and a rookie running back, it's I don't really know what their plan is. Maybe they're planning on flipping Hill. I'm not sure. But moving off of Saquon means you're probably not trying to compete this year. So I don't know. I would lean the Saquon side if that's my last piece, but value-wise, in terms of what I can do with the other side, then I'll lean the 2 players in the pick.
It's weird though, right?
Harvey's. Go ahead.
What? Rumor has it
that RJ Harvey's older than Saquon Barkley.
He's in that same range. No, but if this was a 27 first instead of Hill in the second, we wouldn't even debate it. You would just say it's Harvey in the first. And that's where I'm I'm taking this trade and I'm going to start saying to everybody in the league, I'm going to all the other contenders and I say, hey, listen, Tyreek Hill in a second for a first. You want it? It's going to put you over the top. Snoog and I do this all the time in our leagues is we get a trade, we like it in our inbox, and then we go to the rest of the league and say, hey, I got this sitting on my lap here. Let's make this a cascading trade. Let's get a second trade done before the first one's even done. And then I'm going to accept both of them. Boom, boom. Now I have Harvey in a first. Let's go. Let's expedite this rebuild a little bit faster.
Good deal. All right, trade number 8 here coming from Liam Schuster from YouTube. Again, we got one side with Tet McMillan, other side Luther Burden and Jalen Waddle. Dad, I'll kick this one your way. What do we think?
You know what I'm going to say. I love Tedoroy McMillan. He is going to absolutely dominate. Luther Burden's a nice player, and Jalen Waddle is a nice player. Neither of these guys are going to be foundational wide receivers, in my opinion, where Tedoroy McMillan, I think, is going to fly up draft boards. I've been trading for him everywhere. Redraft, he's wide receiver 28. Dynasty, he's wide receiver 16. Make it make sense. He's going to get peppered, and he's an elite level prospect. Don't even debate this one at all. Snoog, I mean, what is it? What do they have to add here? I know you put a post out there, and I really liked it. Say, as much as Snoog likes Hunter and as much as I like Tet, if you can get a 27 first on top of Ibuka for those, do it. Will you feel the same way if you got a 27 first on top of Burden for Tet or Hunter?
No, I don't, because I don't think Burden's on Ibuka's level. I think Ibuka's the line for me. I think in this trade, it would have to be Waddle and a 27 first, or like a DJ Moore or Zay Flowers or, a Devontae Smith type of player and a 27 first, which you probably can't even do with Devontae Smith. But Tet is foundational, like you said. The other two are not, and I don't ever see the other two ever being foundational. Waddle was at some point, but he probably won't ever get there again because of his age. But Tet McMillan has the perfect situation. He's an elite prospect, like you said. The production, everything was off the charts. And if I'm trading a foundational asset, I want a foundational asset back. Unless I'm rebuilding and I want picks, then it better be all draft picks or a player and a pick, and I can trade the player for more picks. Like, that's how I view this type of trade. I just don't see the point of trading Tet for Burden and Waddle. Like, why? Why would you do that? What's the point of that? Unless you're rebuilding and someone wants both of them and you can flip them both for firsts, then sure.
Yeah, no, I'm with you for sure. That's kind of how I was looking at it. Guys, I just want to give a couple shout outs here because right now, again, we are running code DAD30 for 30% off your yearly sub. 4 guys have signed up in the last 2 hours. We have, honestly, want to give them a shout out. Caleb Heupel, hope I pronounced that right. Brian Gobble, Kyle Haight, and Jacob Dixon. I mean, that's like, guys are flying in. My emails just keep going. This is literally the best deal you guys are going to get. 30% off, even if you sign up for the basic. I mean, that puts you, that takes it from $5 a month down to, what is that, like $3.50 a month? Like, you can't beat that. Like, we always say it's like a cup of coffee. That's not even a cup of coffee. That's like, you can't even get a McGriddle for $3.50 anymore. So eat a little bit healthier and get that Smash Accept Discord.
All right, trade 9 here coming from Braden Perry over on the Discord. We got one side with Josh Allen, Emeka Egbuka, and Bashal Tutin. Other side with Caleb Rome, got the stack there, and Laporta. Snoog, I'm going to throw this one your way. Which side do we like here?
Yeah, this one's interesting to me. I want Josh Allen, though, all day long.
Yes. I put this in there to tease you, right? I wanted you to like it.
I don't love Laporta.
No, but I mean, I think the fact that you're getting Egbuka and Rome value is not that significant. So the basic way I almost look at it.
This is a cowbell. Josh Allen cowbell.
But at first glance, you're like, it's not bad, right? But the way I was looking at it is, I mean, I think Egbuka and Tutin is worth Rome, right? Like, just, and I would prefer the Tutin side. But Laporta and Caleb for Josh Allen, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want. That's not the kind of trade that I'm going to make. I mean, I think the gap between Caleb and Allen it's still 2 firsts. And if you're not going to go ahead and be prepared to pay that, then you're getting almost a free Egbuka on this one. And I just can't see how that comes about.
I love what ambiguity just said. Like, generational has been an interesting term, kind of thrown away so much. Josh Allen's generational. He's a generational quarterback in talent. for what he does. Like he might not win,
Mm-hmm.
like whatever you can say Super Bowls, whatever you want. Oh, like okay, he is a generational talent, and for fantasy football, Josh Allen's generational. There's only ever been one other Josh Allen-ish type player, and it was Cam Newton, and he wasn't on the same level.
Now he's what everybody wanted Cam Newton to be. Cam Newton
Yeah.
was never as consistent as Josh Allen. Josh Allen's
No.
never finished below QB2. You know, Cam Newton, it was some ups and downs. I mean, he had some monster seasons, but Josh Allen is literally him. And what's crazy is I've gotten the 101 in multiple startups this past season. I haven't gotten one offer. People are like, no, he's too expensive. You know, and I did Smash Accept 18. I had the 101. I have 13 firsts in Josh Allen, and no one will make an offer for him. I keep going to people and they're like, no, he's too expensive. That's fine because he's going to be on my team for a while then. You know, like he is a set it and forget it quarterback one and a league winner.
All right. Next trade coming in from Bryce over from the Discord. We got one side with Quinshon Judkins, other side with Chase Brown, and a third in 2026, Dad. What do we think on this one?
I mean, the value is Quinshon Judkins. The production for 2025 to me is Chase Brown. So this is just one, not a trade I'm making. You know, like I think if I'm doing this particular trade, then I'm going to look at this and like if I'm on the Judkins side, I'm going to try to get, I'm going to try to take Terry McLaurin, add him onto the Chase Brown side so that guy wins, and then I'm going to get a Jordan Addison or a Ibuka or, like I want two young guys on the left side. I want another more firepower on the right side. I just don't think – I hate doing a one-for-one positional trade, let alone just getting a 26th third. That does nothing. Nothing for me.
I feel like you're just trading just a trade when you do trades like this. And I've been getting a lot of these type of questions in the Discord. And I simply will just, first thing I'll say sometimes is, why do you want to do this trade? Mm-hmm. Where do you see the value in this trade? If you're significantly higher on like a Judkins or like a Travion Henderson, like I am in this case, to a Chase Brown, then sure. But like the value has them dead even pretty much. So it's kind of like
maybe a 2-3 swap
type of trade.
Like that, exactly. Maybe I do it then.
Swap would get it done for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a weird one there. That's just not my cup of tea.
All right, next one coming from Dakota V32 over on Twitter. We got one side with Saquon, the 207 and 110 here for 2025 rookie drafts. Other side with Rashee Rice, the 107. So the 207
Saquon 210, 110, Rashee,
gotcha.
107. So you're looking at the guy that has Saquon, the guy that's trading Saquon was clearly finished third last year, and so Snoog, the way we look at this is Rashee and Saquon. I think the 107, 110 is a fair swap. Makes that pretty even, right? Like I think 1-7. So you're getting Rashee Rice and Quinshon Judkins or Ibuka and Saquon Barkley. Like we talk about foundational assets and that it really depends on what happens during your rookie draft. But I mean, Rice and Judkins or Saquon and Ibuka, who are you taking between those two guys? Like those two packages.
I think I look at the 110 like it's RJ Harvey, Caleb Johnson, or Tyler Warren because in most of the leagues I was in, Ibuka was going 1.8, 1.9, so I wasn't even getting a sniff him at the 110. If he was there, it's damn close. I'd probably honestly take Ibuka and Saquon, but if I'm looking at it how I have it, like it would be Rice and Judkins or Saquon and Harvey or Caleb Johnson, then I would want the Rice and Judkins side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's an interesting trade. I think it's a weird trade because it's like here's my 110, 210, and the other guy's like here's my 1-7, 2-7. It's just, I mean, Brock, sell me if I'm wrong here. I love Rashee Rice, but it's kind of a tough trade to make as well.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this, moving up 3 spots in both rounds, and then like the players themselves aren't even that far off anyway. It's just
there's a lack of creativity.
Yeah, you got to be like on the clock at 107, and it's like, all right, I want to jump someone. I'm at 110, and I know like an Ibuka might go, so I want to jump someone to get him. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, it's a tough one there. Moving on to trade 12 from Jose Enrique from Twitter. We got one side with Baker, Rashee, and a 27 first. Other side with Bo Nix, Jalen Waddle, and Kate Otten. Dad's holding up the cowbell, Snoog. You agree?
So our last show, I was saying my main sell in Dynasty is Saquon Barkley. A lot of you guys have come through and not saying blindly sell. If you're contending, you hold on to him, but you're seeing a lot of Saquon Barkley trades. One of, Snoog's guys to trade right now is Bo Nix. And if you can get this, if you can get Baker in a 27 first, because basically I look at Rashee Rice, he's over Waddle and Otten, but like you're basically, this person loves Bo Nix. Like they're overpaying like crazy. I think if you can get Baker in a first for Bo Nix anywhere, or you can get Baker in a first for Nix in a second even, Baker Mayfield is just 30 years old. He's going to be a fantastic quarterback for years to come, and like this is, we're not saying you have to. A lot of people watch that show and they're like, wow, you guys are selling too good of players. I put in James Cook, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, not because I don't love them. I love all three of those running backs, but your guy at peak value before they go down. I see a lot of people on Twitter saying, well, sell Brock Bowers, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, they're at peak value. Yeah, but they're winning you championships for the next 5 years. Where Snoog, he said sell Laporta, sell Penix, sell Nix. They're not winning you those championships. There's a big difference. Guys can have peak values, but they have peak value and they're continuing to win you championships, as opposed to Saquon Barkley. Yeah, he can die on your roster, and that's perfectly fine. But he's not going to win you championships for the next 5 years. You're going to start to taper off there a little bit. Another super chat. Love it. We're up to 6. 4 more. We'll give away that VIP. Let's just do it.
All right. Appreciate the super chat, Mark. He said, what would you need on top of Devonta Smith to get to A.J. Brown? It's a good one here. Is it a first off, Snoog, or what do we think?
I'd say it's like 2 seconds. I'd say a 1-2 swap is probably the value.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay that if I have Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I'd try to do something smaller, but that's probably the value because A.J. Brown just has a crazy high ceiling.
I think you just got to get creative with the running back here. You try to do like A.J. Brown and James Conner, and then you get Devonta Smith and you get Kenneth Walker, or you try to make it that way. I'm buying A.J. Brown wherever I can. I mean, honestly, a lot of people don't pay attention to his 2025 was beyond special. And nobody's paying attention to it. Nobody's talking about it. 7th all-time in yards per route run last year. He had amazing weeks. And where I think we're going down a track where I think there's going to be less tush-push. I think there's going to be more looking to pass, because by the time we get to 2026, let's just be honest with ourselves, that play is probably going to be outlawed. It was close this year. I think he definitely gets outlawed. And I think Philly starts to recreate that in the red zone. And, he is someone that is constantly open. And I think we undervalue A.J. Brown in Dynasty all the time. So I want A.J. Brown wherever I can get him. I would pay the 201 for sure. I think I would pay the 112, but that would be about it.
Thinking. Yeah, it's tough. It's one of those things. I love what you said. I'm taking Devontae Smith and, throwing him Kyron Williams and getting A.J. Brown in 27 first. Or something like that is what I would be trying to do.
Love it.
All right. Next one coming in from Cole Schaefer from the Discord. We got one side with Kyle Williams, a 28 first and 27 third. Other side with DJ Moore. This one just looks gross visually, but Dad, how are we breaking this one down?
I want DJ Moore here. If this is a 27 first, if it's a 27 first, I want Kyle Williams. But in 2028, and I hate when I see this, people put on Twitter, I don't think my league will still be around. I'm like, then you need to get into the Discord and join some of these leagues of other degenerates. Like, if you don't believe your league's going to be around in 2 years, you're in the wrong league. But I mean, DJ Moore's fine and all, but if it's a 27 first, I'll take the gamble. If it's 28, I'm going to stick with DJ Moore. Again, probably the third trade. We've talked about this, but I don't think I want to do this. Like, you're not really winning championships by getting DJ Moore with that 28 first. You just hold it, make sure, like Snoog, we talk about this all the time. I think people are trying to get a lineup now as opposed to worrying about value, and we're still in June.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And in this scenario, I want DJ Moore as well, because I do think DJ Moore is a guy that is going to ball out. But like you said, like, why are you trading 28 first? Like, you can't. There's probably very few teams you can count on one hand that you could confidently be like, this team's gonna have a late 28 first.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's like some of like the rosters that Dad and I have in some of these leagues that it's like we've been building for a while, and in this case, it's like other than that, I want to keep that 28 first, but I would probably pay that for DJ Moore because I think adding that to Kyle Williams is nothing.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
Let's do it. Trade 14 coming from Evan Jenkins over on Twitter. We got one side with Burrow, a 3rd and 27 and a 4th and 26. So pretty much Burrow. Other side with May, another 28 first and 28 second. Can kick that second out. So this one's tough. Burrow for May and a 28 first. Snoog, what do you think?
Give me May. This is close. If this is the 27, I'm doing May side.
I'm not. I think
27.
I think you close the May side. I think you close the gap a little bit this year, but I mean, I still think the gap is 1.5 first. So I guess this is about the value, but I would still rather have Burrow. I made this. I mean, I have Burrow in Smash Accept Global and Smash Accept 19, and I've tried this particular trade with 27 first, and they wouldn't do it. So I think if you can get a mid 27 first on top, I'm with Snoog. You go for May, but this particular trade, it's Joe Burrow.
All right, next one coming in from Johnny Williams over on Twitter. We got one side with, you don't see his name too often, Jaden Daniels and Zay Flowers. Other side, Caleb, Rome, Harvey, and Caleb. A couple nice rookies on that side. But Dad, which side do we like on this one?
So this is going to be a tricky one because I think this really comes down to what your roster looks like. I think Flowers. I'll take Flowers and Harvey and throw them out the window on this one, or like just get one of those running backs out. So then it becomes Caleb, Rome, and Caleb for Daniels. I think the gap between Daniels and Caleb Williams is 2 firsts, but I think betting on Rome, Harvey, and Caleb Johnson all to hit, like there's a ton of upside on that right-hand side, but I think Jaden Daniels is a sure thing. I think Zay Flowers is going to have his best season yet, and he was on our breakout show. So I'm leaning the Jaden Daniels side, but it's almost like a brand new roster on the right-hand side. You're getting 4 firsts.
I know.
And I think Jaden Daniels himself is worth 4 firsts. So this is tough. But I'm leaning with Daniels.
I want the Caleb side. I'm so confident one of Harvey or Caleb Johnson is going to be really good. Like
one
really
of them has
good.
to hit.
One of them has to hit hard. There's a good chance both of them end up being something and like good. Like we've seen it with other classes where 6-7 running backs in the class were good. I think they're both set up in prime situations if they don't get injured to be good. And then I think Rome's an upgrade from Flowers. So I'm really looking at this like Caleb, Harvey, and Caleb for Daniels. And I'll do it. I'll take the risk. It's a risk.
I almost look at this as like a guy that he finished with a couple late first because he took Harvey and Caleb, and then he's just like, you know what? I want to go over the top. I'm going to take a couple of these guys, and probably has a dream roster, but it's a complete overhaul there on that right-hand side. You're getting a ton of prospects, and if you want to flip them, go ahead and do it. Hey, we got a first-timer here.
All right. Appreciate the super chat, Ty. He said, one side, Barkley and Rice. I feel like we saw that in another one. But
yeah, we did this one
and Rice on one side. Oh, okay.
Olave's added in now. Smash Olave side.
Okay, yeah. Other side, Chuba Olave 1-2-2-2. You agree,
now
Dad?
It's a smash. Yeah,
now I like that one. Hey, it's worth the cowbell there. We covered that one up a little bit earlier because you had asked that question. Now that Olave is in there, I think that's a definite, absolute smash because 102 equals Barkley. So now you're getting Olave 202 and Chuba for Rice all day long. And I think that's a fantastic trade. Love that one. Let's get back to our
good.
That's
deal.
seven super chats. 3 more. We will go ahead and give away. We will give away a VIP month. If we get to 15, I'm going to give away a Smash 20. We had one guy that could not be in it. Snoog's in it. I'm in it. And it's going to be. It's a high roller league. A lot of you guys have been asking to be in those leagues where it's $200 buy-in. So if you guys have been wanting to play with Snoog and I, now's your opportunity. We are going to, I believe we're on 16. Are we on 14 or 15? 16.
16.
Back in. Yeah. All
right. This one coming in from Travis Wallert over on Twitter. We got one side with Egbuka, Bryce Young, and a 26 second. Other side with a first next year, a first the year after, and a second in 2027, Dad. What do we think on this one?
The comment here that threw me off was he said that I'm trying to get Young as my QB3. So there I was like, okay, all right. I don't ever see the need in June to trade for a QB3, especially when you're trying to trade. I just don't do it. So for me, I mean, Ibuka's worth a late-ish 27 first. Young's worth a mid-ish 26 first. So you throw out the 26-2, the 27-2. This is one of those ones I just don't see a reason to do this right now. I mean, I like Ibuka. If you think he is the real deal, and because you're hearing training camp that he had the most receptions in Bucks training camp, even though you know Mike Evans isn't participating in all the drills and all those kind of things, and you want to make this move, I have no problem, but you've just given away your entire future. And that I hate. I hate trading those kind of things. So I am I'm off this one.
The way I look at it is I'm going to take that 27-1 and 26-1 and go get an A.J. Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake London, Nico Collins type of player. Mm-hmm. I'll take that 27 second and go get Matt Stafford, Geno Smith, someone of that caliber. Would you rather one of those wideouts in Geno Smith or Stafford, or Ibuka and Bryce Young in a second? I think it's a no-brainer for the wide receiver and the veteran quarterback. So, that's what people don't understand. It's so much easier sometimes to go piece it out and go buy from different people and buy different assets from different people rather than just pay full market value for Ibuka and Young, because you're literally overpaying full market value for both of them.
All right, here we go.
All right. 8th super chat coming in from Jack Donahue. Appreciate it, Jack. He said he's a top contender and a 10-man half-point PPR super flex. Should he make either of these trades? So we'll start with the first one. Saquon, a 26 third, and Aronde Gadsden. He's been getting some buzz in Chargers camp for HN and a 27 first. We'll start with that one, Snoog.
Yeah, I want the Chain side. Chain and 27 first. That's a beautiful consolidated trade. And Dad and I just did our Dynasty running back ranking show, and we literally have Chain and Saquon back to back with 4 other dudes. It's
even if that's the second, I'm doing it. That's a great one.
Yeah, and then the other one is pretty much the same trade, except Gadsden's not in it, and they're getting Henderson. So Gadsden, just don't really bother him in this. So I guess it comes down to, do you prefer HN or Henderson? We'll start with you there, Dad.
Oh, I prefer A-Chain, but I mean, I think the Gadsden thing doesn't change much. If they're talking about the exact same 27, Jack, then I would 100% go with A-Chain. He has got more value than Henderson. If the 27 first on the other one's worth a little bit more, I would definitely go with the Henderson side. So, guys, we are at 9 super chats now. I mentioned the Smash Accept 20 giveaway, and everybody starts coming out of the woodworks here. We got Mark, a.k.a. Jabin P33. Bring on that Smash Accept 20 giveaway. Snoog, it's going to be a fun draft. You and I have not drafted together since Smash Accept 9. That one, we kind of both went balls to the wall, all in, and now I'm rebuilding, and you're kind of pushing in a little bit further. But it's always a fun time when you have multiple hosts in there, multiple people talking shop. I know Smash Accept Global was one of my favorites because we had guys in there talking trash with different kind of dialect and people calling each other blokes. And I was like, yo, this is just fun, right? I was like, one time I was like, what time is it for you guys? It's 5:30 for me. The one guy's like, it's 2 a.m. Let's get a pick in here, Dad. And the other guys are like, it was crazy because it was all over the place. I saw on Spotify recently, and now we're up over 70 countries that listen to Smash Accept. It's crazy to me when we see all these different things on YouTube and we hear all this different information on Spotify and all these other avenues. So we love, every single one of you guys, and it's fun to participate that way. Smash 20 is going to be a blast.
When did you do the pause timer on that sort of thing, or did you not do one?
No, we didn't have one at first. We did a 12-hour window, and then it was like, this is too hard. But it was fun. It was fun. Here's our 10th super chat. Let's hit it up.
All right, John. Appreciate you coming through. We got a 12-team super flex start 10. Receivers are Neighbors, Nico, London, Bowers at tight end, Bijan at running back, Penix, and really nobody else outside of a couple guys, Marvin Mims, Keon Coleman, Braylon Allen. Who should he take at the 1-2 and 112, Dad? What do we think?
So you have, let's see.
Seems like you should go Hampton if he needs running back.
Well, the interesting part here is, I mean, he has no QB1 or, I mean, he's got Penix as QB1. Is that where we're at right now? I mean, John, so. I think I'm trading back from 102. So I'm going to try to trade back from 102 to anywhere in the ideally 103 or 104 or 105. Even if you move back to Henderson, I would even be okay moving back to 106, 107 in this one to add a little bit on top of it, because you get to 107, you could get Cam Ward, 106, Quinshon Judkins in that area. And then at the 112, you already have your tight end here. So I would really try to be trading that for a 27 first. Plus, if you're not all in, if I have to draft the particular players that are in front of me at 102 would be Hampton, and at 112, probably Jackson Dart because of the situation that you're in. But it seems to me that it is not a contender right off the bat. Wide receivers are great. I think, you got to look down the pipeline a little bit more. Snoog, the other thing you could do is have his guy, whoever he prefers there between Hunter and Tet, and continue the rebuild process and not have any running backs, void it out, and then in 2026 get Jeremiah Love and Nick Singleton and then dominate for the future.
Yeah, that's what I'd probably do. It's interesting. Right now, the way I was looking at it is, let's fix this QB room. So I was thinking we could try, Penix, 102 and the 112, package those three up, go to a team that's trying to rebuild. Maybe there's another team in there trying to rebuild with two elite quarterbacks, or maybe they have a Patrick Mahomes and a Dak Prescott, or a Mahomes and a Trevor Lawrence, and you could trade those three for those two. Something like that you could do. You could try what Dad said, moving back from the 102 to the 105, 106, getting Judkins or Henderson in a first on top, or Henderson and Judkins and, a player of a first, like a Zay Flowers type of player or something. And then maybe just playing around with that 112. But so many different things that you could do. And you could even flip Bijan for a quarterback. There's a lot of different options and scenarios you could do to fix that roster. But right now it's not a contender, but you have a ton of elite pieces.
There's super chat number 11.
All right, next one coming in from B. Appreciate the super chat. We got a 12 by 11, a little deeper, half point PPR, and then another half for the tight end, and the 0.25 point per carry. He's a contender. He sent 2 trades. First one is Neighbors and 2/3 to get London Waddle, a 27 first, and 3 seconds. Dad, what do we think on that one?
I hate trading Neighbors. I always do. I feel like I would want to see what I could do down the pipeline. If that 27 first is early, you're going to kill this trade. If it's mid, I think it's fair. If it's late, I would really want to see something else with what you could do with Waddle in those 3 seconds. I think the gap between London and Neighbors is not quite 2 firsts, but it's 1 early first for me, and maybe a late first, or an early first and a pair of seconds. So I'm personally not wild on it. It really depends on that 27 first. It's all about projecting with that class, Snoog. Is late, you lose. Mid, it's kind of fair. Early, you dominate.
I think it's a cowbell for the Drake London side.
You like it?
It looked like it was 2 trades.
I love it.
I think he initially moved Neighbors and then got Puka and then traded Puka for another haul. So I think this is at the end of doing both of those trades.
Yeah, a little.
But it looks like,
you ended up with London Waddle with 27 first and 3 seconds. I think that you freaking crushed it. There's a chance London gets close to Neighbors in production. He's not the same type of talent or player, but he can get close in production, and they're both 22, 21, 23 years old. So it's good. And you got a bunch of good assets attached.
Malik is still 21. London's 24. That's that's the gap there. But I mean, if they both put up 1,500 yards, Malik's never going to be able to be obtained again, where London's just going to move up just a little bit. But I mean, the value is right there.
Yeah. All right. Super chat 13 coming from Craig Bailey. So 2 more, and we'll do that spot for Smash Accept 20. So, Dad, I know you like kind of doing something like this, but Jonathan Taylor versus that 27 first, does it make a difference if it's early, obviously, mid, late? Which do you prefer him in, or do you prefer him in neither?
it has to be late. If it's mid, you're going to lose. Unless if it's mid, you're going to lose. If it's early, you're getting crushed. So I honestly think, Craig, that I would not want to move. I would trade any of my 26 first because I think as long as it's not top 4, you would win this trade. 27 first, it's got to be late for me, or at least like 108 range. So if you're super confident that it's 108 or later, I'm okay with it.
Same.
Just not a trade I love doing.
All right.
Yep,
and then the
I
next
agree
one
there.
from, sorry, Snoog. Next one coming in from John. Appreciate it, John. We got 102 for Bucky and Jonnu Smith. Throw this one over here to you, Dad. What do you think?
102. Bucky is a fantastic running back, but what the value of the 102 is considerably more. Jonnu Smith does not close that gap for me. I have Bucky worth the 105 right now. 105, 106. The 102 is something special where you can actually on draft day trade that back, or you're going to get Hunter or Tet or Hampton. And I think Hampton is a better running back than Bucky Irving. Tet and Hunter are going to give you a lot more options. The 102, everybody wants, not everybody wants Bucky.
Yeah.
Austin's throwing it in. Does he have a question in there, or is he going love of the game?
You said love of the game.
Love the game.
All right, one more, and we will give away Smash Accept 20. And then I'm going to try to get us back to, I believe,
17.
Trade number 17. Of course it is. That's the one I can't get to. There we go. This guy just signed up for the Discord today, so I'm excited that we have an opportunity to, go over his trade right off the bat, and it's a fun one.
Awesome. Welcome to the Patreon. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. We'll call him LE. We got one side with Walker in a 27 first, other side with Smitty and a 26 first. Snoog, right now, do you prefer Kenneth Walker or Devontae Smith just cross-positionally, and then how does the first factor in?
This is another one of those trades that it's like you're just trading just a trade, in my opinion. I'd prefer Smith slightly, but I also prefer the 27 first of the 26 first slightly. So this is the way I'm looking at it is I'm looking at the rosters. If I'm confident my 26 first is going to be late and there's a chance that 27 first can be mid or early, I'm smashing the Walker side. If they're both dead even late trades, the teams are both absolutely stacked. And if I need a running back, I'd go Walker. If I need a wideout, I'd go Smith, but it's damn close.
I'm taking the Walker in the 27 first all day long, just because I think the name cachet of the 27 first, like we talked about this when it was 2020 and 2023. We just posted on there that people think that a late 27 first is equal to a mid 26 first. So that in itself, I'm starting to, I hate giving away all these trade secrets, but if I know it's a 27 first, I'm starting to trade it and making people like, oh, this
it's a late
loaded.
27 first,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I like this particular trade. I think the Walker side wins. And Devonta Smith is now starting to get to a point, Snoog, in Dynasty where he's no longer a pillar of production because he's putting up wide receiver 2 numbers, and he's going to be 27 years old. So there's super chat number 15 coming in from Logan. This is his first super chat, I believe. So thank you, Logan.
All right. Appreciate you sliding through, Logan, and appreciate the super chat. He said he just traded Nico and Jackson Dart for May and Jerry Jeudy. His other receivers, Jefferson, Puka, BTJ. Bryce Young was his only quarterback one, or he was his QB one, so he wanted to get May. So, Dad, how do we feel about this one?
Oh, I like this a lot. I mean, I think Nico and May, they go very similar in startups. I think Nico, as much as he's going to be an all-in contender, I mean, Drake May's value is going to be worth more than Nico Collins by next year. I like Jackson Dart, but Jeudy is going to be a nice guy to fill in there in your roster. You needed the QB2. Snoog, this is a very fair trade, but I think it has an opportunity in 2026 to be a landslide. I think we really could see Drake May's value skyrocket. So that's a fun one. Love that one, Logan. I'm going to hit you up on the cowbell just because it's your first time. Another first timer, I believe here, John, he has a question.
All right. Would you guys rather have Hampton, Hunter, or Tet in Dynasty? Every Dynasty's manager's decision at the 102, 3, 4, these rookie drafts. But Snoog, I'll throw this one your way. Who do we prefer?
You know who I want. You know who Dad wants. I'm going to ask you, Brock. Who do you want?
Oh, okay. All right.
So the funny thing is I haven't had any 102s. I've had about, I think, 4 or 5 rookie drafts that I've done so far. I personally am going Travis just because I think the ceiling's there, but I honestly feel like you really can't go wrong with either. If you're at 102, it's like you were so close to getting Ginty, and now you have to make this tough decision. I don't want to be in
Yeah,
your position. You know what I mean? But
right.
honestly, if you really need the running back, you know, Hampton can put you over the edge. Great offense, great coaches, O-line, stuff like that. Can't go wrong with that. If you want the receivers, I think safety, if you want that, still a high ceiling, but I think a higher floor, I'd go Tet. But if you're really shooting for that upside, that guy who could put up 1,200 and shoot into top 5 dynasty rankings, then it's probably Travis. So depends on how you play dynasty. Are you risky? Are you safe? How do you play it? And that's the beauty of this. I know Snoog's going risky. He's going Hunter. Dad wants the stability with Hampton Tet. So you really can't go wrong. But yeah, plant your flag, make a decision, and then roll with it.
The best way to do this is to trade back to 104 if you can. I'm still, as much as I say Hampton all the time, I only got one share because I also don't have a lot of 102s, and the ones I had 2 shares of 102. The one I traded 102 and 106 to get up to Genty, and I felt great, you know. And the other one I traded back from 102. Oh, the other one I took Hampton because I needed a running back. So I think Hampton's going to be fantastic. I think all 3 of these guys are. Hampton, if you need the running back, or if it's 0.25. IDP 100% Hunter. If you want the floor, you go Tet. If you can ideally trade back, that's the way to do it, John. So that's we're trying to give you the best answer we can there on that one because that's such a hot button topic there. So let's hit up these next couple.
All right, this one coming from Red Giant over on the Discord. We got one side with Lad in a mid 27 first, other side with Amon Ra in a mid 26 second. Dad, what do we think?
If it's truly mid with a chance to early, I want Lad. I think Lad's going to be fantastic. If this is where forecasting is everything, right? You really better forecast that one properly. Love it. Let's quick hitter these.
Quick hitter, but I want to say something real quick is that I've noticed too, I'm looking at some teams and I'm like, oh, they're not that great. And then I scroll down and they have like 4 firsts next year. So it's like, you got to kind of keep that in mind too. What can they do with those picks next year, even before 2027? Don't just look at the players in the roster. Look at their picks and draft capital too, because they could make some moves to then either try and go all in or even break it down more, and that pick could be even earlier. So I think that's important as well when you're doing those pick projections. But trade 19 coming from Dilly Dilly over on the Discord. We got one side with Lad, other side with Hampton and Ricky Pearsall Snoog. Throw this one your way. What do we think?
I'm curious what Dad's gonna want. I wanted the Hampton side in this trade.
Oh,
100%. I like the Hampton side, and I'm trading. Pearsall is not even gonna last a day on my roster. He's gone.
Well, Hampton's my 102, and I prefer Lad. I prefer the 102 over Lad. So I mean, like, I would rather this have been the 102 in Purcell because I could do so much more with it. But yeah, I mean, I think you get a RB1 and then in Dynasty, and you get another piece that you can flip. So I love that one.
All right, trade 20 coming from Thaddeus over on the Discord. We got one side with someone who I feel like has been kind of tanking this offseason, Chris Olave. Other guy with a new quarterback, Calvin Ridley, and the 204 Dad. What do we like here?
I want to hear what Snoog has to say before I start gushing about Calvin Ridley. But I mean, the value still feels like it's Olave there. But I mean, Snoog, I've been buying Calvin Ridley everywhere. I mean, 64 reception, 120 targets, but only 80 of them were catchable targets, which is one of the lowest in the league. 64 receptions, 1,000 yards, 15.9 yards per reception. That was 8th. 26.7% air yards, 26.7 air yards per reception, number 1 in the NFL. 20 receptions of 20 plus. He's a borderline wide receiver 1 in 2025 or 2024. So I mean, if this is the 201, I'm smashing it. The 204, I start to debate a little bit.
Yeah, it's dead close. I probably want the Chris Olave side slightly because I think he has room to gain value, and he was once a loved asset. Ridley's just kind of going down and down in value no matter what. And the 204, I think it depends who's there at the 204 for me. If I get like a slip, like someone slips that shouldn't be there, I like it. It all depends on team, but it's a very fair trade.
All right, trade 21 coming from Doc, also from the Discord. We got one side with the 110 or other side, Josh Downs and James Conner. Dad, what do we think here?
I love these kind of trades. Give me the 110 all day long. I think everybody starts to look at it and say, Well, these are 2 seconds. This is worth a late first, and that's not the way Dynasty works. Get this at 110. You're gonna get Caleb. You're gonna get Harvey. You're gonna get Loveland. You're gonna get Warren. You're gonna get Ibuka. It's smash 110.
Smash.
All right, next one coming from Colossal. Tighten up. We got one side with the 102, other side with T-Law, a second and 27, and the 312. Snoogs flicking the wrist, Dad.
Are you cowbelling my spelling of Trevor Lawrence, or are you cowbelling the 102?
102.
All day long.
Larice. All right, and the last one for the schedule tonight, we got Snoob coming from Snoob on the Discord. We got Puka and the 103 or Gibbs.
Puka.
Another cowbell for Puka.
Not even debating that one.
That's a smash.
I don't know. I don't normally put YouTube comments, but Trevor Porter put, yo, best Dynasty trade show on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Now, we got super chats. We got business. Well, let's start playing around here. We got multiple. Went all the way up to 19. It went from like 5 to 19 overnight. And that's where, my man, Dr. Bigums, is coming out of the woodworks. He said, I've been MIA, so I got to drop by with some love. That away, Bigums. I hope you win that spot, buddy. Next one here from Dynasty Degen. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Here's one. Brock, I'm going to flip it up to you. You ready? ETN Downs in a third, Judy Mason in a third in 26 or 20. Well, this is an interesting one.
This is an interesting one because I feel like I'd rather have Judy over ETN. And then Mason's a sneaky buy, honestly. I think he might have some of that goal line work in Minnesota. But I'm probably going to lean the ETN downside. But this one's just gross. This is like you're trading bench pieces for bench pieces.
Yeah, it really comes down to do you believe in ETN or do you believe in Judy? I believe in Judy. I think Judy's going to have a great year. But I think the value, I slightly lean towards the ETN downside because if Daniel Jones is the starter, Josh Downs is a yards per route run guy that is going to get open all day long. So, I mean, Snoog, I'm leaning ETN. What about you?
Yeah, I am too. The ETN and downside. I'm big believer ETN bounces back.
Oh, my man A Moose he's got his super chat 2 and 3. So he's got 3/20ths fraction wise. If somebody wants to factor that out, percentage. 1 QB, 12 teams start, 8 best ball. Trade CJ Stroud and Cup for Penix, Thielen, McMillan. I have London, Mooney, and Young. No, you keep CJ Stroud.
Stroud over that entire package straight up.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, you're not really getting much with Thielen and Jalen McMillan, so I like that a lot. And then the last question of the day, and we will give this another, 2 minutes because we're going to talk a little bit, but if you guys want to get that in while Snoop gets the wheel up. A Moose says, 12 teams, Superflex start 10, trade Love, Amon-Ra in the 204 for Jaden Daniels and Calvin Ridley. What do we think here?
No. Amon-Ra by a mile.
I don't think it's a mile, but I do think it's Amon-Ra. I want Jaden Daniels wherever I can get him. I do think his year 2 is going to be something special. Brock, what do you think about this trade?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of these trades, and that one we covered for Jaden earlier. It's like I just never know if I'm paying this to get up to it. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, because Ridley 204 it washes.
Yeah, we know where the value is, but it's like if you really want Jaden, you can get him, but you're gonna have to pay a top 6-7 dynasty receiver, a top 10 dynasty quarterback, and
a
top 16 rookie pick. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'd never personally make those moves with cross positionals to move up, but I understand you want Jaden. Go get Jaden.
Let's see it here. All right, Snook, we're gonna pick 4 names, and then we're gonna go ahead and give away the Smash 20. So I'm in a giving mood. We're gonna do all 4 of these. I'm not gonna do basic. They'll all be VIP. So this will be for a VIP month of the Patreon. So go ahead. We'll do 4, not our usual 3. And all these people, when you guys win, make sure you guys DM Snoog or myself. Austin Daymuse. That's someone that's new to the show.
I'm pretty sure that's A Moose too. I think he's all the same person. If he is.
No, it's not.
It is.
That's the same profile picture, yeah.
It's the same profile picture.
Hey, he's getting it done. He's getting it done.
If he wins again, I'll just remove him from the wheel.
He went cross channel for multiple entries.
Crazy Connor, he dropped in for the love of the game. Oh, Blue K Prods. He's been a staple almost every single show, getting something in there. One more.
Newbie with John. John gets in.
Oh, John. You know what, Snoog? Let's do one more. Let's do 5. We're going to do 5. We're going to do 5. We'll give away 5.
Logan
with his first time in. He's potential. That's 5 guys. Every single one of you guys, reach out on Twitter, reach out on YouTube. We will send you a gift link to get into the Discord. Let's see who's going to be drafted in Smash Accept 20 with Snoog and I. So this is, again, to get into the league, not the entry fee. Someone thought that the other day. I'm like, you know what? We just can't hand out 2 $100 bills, but let's do it. I'm excited. All these guys are new.
Blue K
Prod. All right. Hey, how about you, brother? I know you've been someone that's honestly been doing super chats with us for months now. You know what I mean? And we love that. So, guys, this has been a fun show. I love the fact that we weren't even mentioning the giveaways with the super chats. You guys just came in. You guys got involved. Every single week, the show gets better and better. We love all the support. Guys, share this with your friends. You know, I mean, a lot of you guys have been saying that we're the best kept secret on YouTube. We don't need to be the best kept secret. Share it, get it out there, get this information to your friends, help them win some money, because that's what we're here to do. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and enjoy the process. Let's go.